Hello and God bless you. I wanted to share with you, if I could, a vision that I had. It came to me via a dream form on March 13th of this year. I'm going to read it from a piece of paper because when I had the vision and after I woke up, my spirit was moved to write down everything that I saw that I might be able to share it with others. So bear with me as I read it from the paper and be blessed. It was nighttime, and we were driving in a car, and I sat in the back seat with my 5-year-old daughter, and she was next to me in her booster chair. And there was a third party in the car, and they were the person who was actually driving the vehicle. And for the purpose of this testimony, I won't use that person's name just so that they don't feel judged per this testimony. So we were driving down the street. Actually, it seemed to be a highway, and I was looking in the sky with my daughter at the stars, and we noticed the moon, and the moon seemed to be incredibly bright this night. And I made mention to my daughter to look at the moon and how shiny it was brighting, uh, how shiny and bright it was this particular evening. And it seemed like no sooner that we made that comment, I saw what appeared to be a second moon to the left, very small, but to the left of the moon. And needless to say, I thought that was very odd. And I told the person who was driving in the driver's seat, look in the sky, do you see that what appears to be a second moon? And of course, we stopped the driving, and we looked, and yes, they saw what appeared to be a second moon. Um, and it seemed that the second moon was drawing closer and closer to the Earth, and to a point to where it was getting much larger than the moon that was actually in the sky. And in the next instant, we noticed that it was not a moon, but it was actually a light that was coming down to the Earth. And then the next minute, we noticed, as soon as we noticed it was a light coming to the Earth, that the ground started to shake. It was a very violent shake of the ground, and the oncoming light now came with winds, very powerful winds, almost the image of a nuclear explosion, but instead of going upwards, the winds traveled across the horizon and forward to where we were, and there was a darkness across the land, but the light penetrated through everything in its direct path, and in a flash, I thought, he's coming. It's rapture. He's coming, and I never noticed once did I feel afraid. Initially, I was very curious, but I instantly knew that what this event was. It was the rapture, and I felt an overwhelming joy, and I was so happy and so filled with excitement, feeling almost like a child. And the only thing I said during this entire event, as it happens, the only words that could come out of my mouth was, "Yes, Lord, yes, Lord." Yes, yes, yes. It's all I could say. I was so filled with peace and joy, and I was ecstatic. And the feeling that I had was so much that I can't even compose into words. And I wanted to reach over to my daughter to hold her hand, but my body was paralyzed. And instantly I knew that she was going to be okay because she is God's child and she will be caught up as well. And I recall looking at the passenger side window, out the passenger side window, and there was a truck that was sitting out there also at a standstill. It seemed like everything was at a standstill at this point, looking at what this was that was coming to the earth. And everyone was just looking truly shocked and kind of just awaiting to see what was going to hit. And I was screaming and shouting, yes, Lord, and praising him in the vehicle. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. I could find no other words but to scream, yes, Lord. I just felt so ready, and I knew he was coming. And for one moment, I diverted my attention to the person that was sitting in the front of our car, and the person sitting there didn't quite feel the joy and the happiness that I was feeling. Quite to the contrary, this person was horrified at what was happening, and they were screaming in fear. And it was my sense that this person was not experiencing the same warmth and love that I was feeling, and did not interpret this event to be as positive as I did. And my heart ached for this person, and I feared that this person was not yet in line with God and was not ready to be raptured up, and my heart was very heavy for them. Um, Joy overtook me once again as the light drew nearer to the earth, and was like an explosion, like force just hit the ground, and dust and darkness just swarmed around the light, and I recall thinking, he's here, I knew that he was coming, but I didn't have any idea that it would be this soon. He's here, he's here. And next thing I felt was a light hit me, and it consumed my body, and my body exploded in heat. Rather, it was a warmth that caused my entire body to surge with energy and tingling intensity. I felt like I was being consumed by a light, like a pulling of sorts. I felt like I whisked, if you will, very rapidly through a light in warmth and love and joy and peace. And I was so excited about what would happen next. I was ready to see glory, and I was praising God all along the way in my mind. In a flash, I was in the galaxy looking down at the earth, and I was watching it rotate just like a picture. And I watched the earth for a second, and I saw little beams of light. They were like pinholes just popping out of the earth and into the galaxy, into space where I was, into the heavens, and thousands upon thousands of small beams just shooting like lights, just shooting like lights out of the Earth's surface upwards to where I was, and my heart rejoiced, and I loved those beams. I had an actual love for those beings because I knew instantly that they were children of God who were being pulled up into the heavens and being raptured up, and I was so overjoyed watching all the beams of lights just shooting out from the earth and into the heavens. And I knew they were heading to see glory just as I was. And I was so happy and so elated and so filled with joy. I woke up at 3:32 a.m. My body felt paralyzed for minutes, and I reviewed everything in my mind, and I just experienced this vision, and I couldn't move. And I wanted to remember every little detail. And my body was on fire, and my fingertips were tingling. And I woke up, and I had no fear. I had none. I had an overwhelming feeling of joy, of thankfulness, of love, of peace, and comfort. After I was ready to get up, I managed to stumble out of bed, and I went over to my work area, and I grabbed a pen and a pad, and I wrote down everything that I saw. And then I knelt down and I prayed for discernment and a blessing that this vision would make sense to me, that I might be able to share with others. My friends, what I want you to know is that I have been in prayer since last December, as I committed to an obedient life for my Christ, living for Him. I pray that He might use me as a vessel to reach people, to share His word, and pray for they would listen. And I need people to know that He is coming soon. And this is what He wants us all to know now. He is coming soon. I know that the word says that no one knows the day or the hour, but I am here to tell you He is coming soon, and we need to be ready. Um, I asked God to talk to me, to use me as a vessel, and I do believe that He answered my prayer. And I also pray that if He trusted me with visions, that I would speak boldly to all that I know, anyone who would listen. Those who may dismiss me as crazy, it's okay because that's part of the journey. Not all are going to believe you, but it's okay because some will be touched and some will be brought to Him through the testimony. So here again, you can dismiss this, or you can call me suspect or even crazy. All I know is I serve a living God, and I am His child, and I live for Him, and my life is for His glory. And I will speak boldly. I will. I will still speak boldly, saith the Lord, and I'm but a messenger. So take it for what it's worth. But my only true question for you, anyone who is listening, is: are you ready? Please, and I beg you, examine your lives and your walk. Um, pray to Jesus that He might tell you if there's an area within your life that is not pleasing to Him, then He might be able to deliver you from that place and into His glory. Please, my friends, know that He is coming soon, and I pray that you get right with Jesus. I love you, and thank you for listening.